The great secret, the eternal mystery, lies not in the stars, nor in the words of another, but within your own wonderful imagination. To live as if your wish is fulfilled is to assume the very feeling of the wish already accomplished. It is not enough to merely think about what you desire. Thought is shadow. Feeling is substance. You must feel yourself into the state of the wish fulfilled. You must become so inwardly identified with that state that it becomes more real to you than the world around you. That, and that alone, is the secret to manifestation. All things exist in the human imagination, and it is from this holy place that your world unfolds. You were told, "Whatsoever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye have received it, and ye shall." Therein lies the law. Believe that ye have received it. Not that you might receive it, not that it could come, but that it already is. This implies a shift not in your external circumstances, but in your internal identity. To believe you have received something is to act from the end, to feel from the result, to dwell in the satisfaction of having. And when you dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, all bridges of incidents, visible and invisible, will reshape themselves to make your assumption a reality. There is no power outside of consciousness. Consciousness is the one and only reality. You do not attract what you want, for wanting only confirms its absence. You attract, or more accurately, you create and express what you are conscious of being. The moment you say "I am," you begin a creative act. I am rich. I am loved. I am successful. These are not idle words. These are seeds planted in the soil of the mind, and as a man sows, so shall he reap. You must become so rooted in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled that even the facts of the world cannot shake your knowing. The world will try to persuade you that your dream is false, that your assumption is fantasy. But let me tell you, do not listen to the facts. They are merely old manifestations, echoes of former beliefs. What you see and touch and hear with the outer senses is the dead past. The truth lies in the unseen. When you see with the eye of imagination, when you hear what only you can hear in the silence, when you walk and talk and breathe in the atmosphere of your realized desire, then and only then are you truly alive. To the world you may seem mad, but to the awakened one, this is sanity. When I say to live as if your wish is fulfilled, I am not suggesting that you pretend. This is not pretense. This is inner certainty. This is communion with the divine within. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the God power in you. God speaks to man through the medium of desire, and the language of God is feeling. You feel your way into fulfillment. You do not strive, you do not beg, you do not chase. You simply assume the state and rest in it. It is a sacred knowing, a holy stillness. Many will ask, how long must I assume the wish fulfilled before it appears? And I say to you, time is an illusion. The only time that matters is now, the eternal now. If you persist in the feeling, if you live in the end, it must come to pass. All things must bear fruit according to their nature. If the assumption is persistent, the result is inevitable, but it must be felt in the heart. You cannot deceive your own soul. It knows what you truly accept as real. So test yourself. Are you reacting to the world, or are you creating from within? Are you dwelling in the facts, or are you living in the vision? You must turn away from appearances and turn inward to the secret place. There you imagine what you desire, as though it were already true, and then you give it the emotional tone of reality. Do not imagine for the sake of imagining. Imagine to the point of belief. Feel it as though it were happening now, and once you feel it real, let it go. Let it gestate. Do not dig up the seed to check if it has sprouted. Trust the process. Remain loyal to your unseen assumption, and the seeing must conform. Your imagination is the creative faculty of God within you. You are the operant power. Nothing happens unless you imagine it first. Your life is a mirror, reflecting your inner state. Change your conception of yourself, and your world will rearrange itself in harmony with your new identity. If you would be loved, assume that you are. If you would be wealthy, feel wealth. If you would be healed, dwell in perfect health. No outer condition is stronger than an inner conviction. To live as if your wish is fulfilled is to act from a higher state of consciousness. You do not wait for evidence to believe. You believe and the evidence appears. You walk by faith, not by sight. You persist in the inner knowing. You hold fast to the end result. Do not be concerned with how or when. These are not your domain. Your work is to assume the end. The bridge of incidents will unfold naturally. All you must do is remain faithful to the assumption. You see, the law is always working. Every moment you are imagining something, feeling something, assuming something, and that which you consistently feel yourself to be, you become. Your assumptions harden into fact. If you live in fear, fear will manifest. If you live in lack, lack will grow. But if you live in the joy of fulfillment, if you dare to claim your desire as now true, the world must respond. It has no choice but to mirror the consciousness you entertain. What is it that you desire? Go within and ask yourself this. Not what the world says you should want, not what others expect of you, but what stirs your soul, what image quickens your spirit. That is your true desire, and the moment you identify it, the moment you feel its reality, the law goes to work. You have sown the seed. Your work now is to water it with faith and joy. Do not contradict it with worry. Do not doubt the unseen. Simply rest in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and let the power that knows all bring it to pass. Imagination is not idle fantasy. It is the shaping force of reality. When you imagine lovingly, when you see yourself through the eyes of your fulfilled desire, you are engaging in a divine act. You are calling forth that which is not yet seen, and clothing it in flesh. The world responds to inner vision, not outer effort. The one who labors in imagination achieves more than the one who toils with his hands. Work, if it flows from the state of fulfillment, will be joyful and inspired. But never act to make something happen. Act because it has already happened within. There is a subtle but powerful difference between doing to get and doing because you have. The former is effort. The latter is expression. When you live from the end, you do not strive. You give, you radiate, you move with purpose, because you are already there in consciousness. This is the life of the mystic, the visionary, the one who knows the truth of being. You may say, but I have not seen any evidence yet. And I tell you, do not be troubled by the outer world. It is delayed echo. Persist in your assumption. Feel the end again and again, until it becomes natural. The more natural it feels, the closer it is to manifestation. Everything begins in the imagination. That which you see in your mind's eye, accompanied by the feeling of reality, will externalize in your world. Let nothing disturb your inner vision. Let no fact, no appearance, no condition shake your belief. Remain faithful to the unseen reality, and the scene will change. This is the law, and it does not fail. What you truly accept as true will come to pass, not because you forced it, but because you felt it real. Your feeling is the secret. Your assumption is the engine. Your imagination is the portal through which your heaven is revealed. Let your dreams be bold. Let your desires be grand. For nothing is too great for the power within you. The power that created the stars lies in you. You are not separate from the Creator. You are a creator. The very essence of God is imagination, and it is through imagination that you create your world. Live not in fear. Live not in waiting. Live in fulfillment. Claim it, own it, walk in it, speak from it. The voice of the wish fulfilled is calm. It does not plead. It does not beg. It affirms. It declares. It knows. Begin now to speak and think and feel from the end. See yourself as already possessing what you desire. Hear congratulations from loved ones. Feel the relief of success. Taste the sweetness of the dream realized. Do it now in this moment, and do it again and again, until your mind and body know no other reality, until it feels like home. This is how you move from desiring to having, from lack to abundance, from delay to realization. The moment you shift within, the outer must follow. You do not need to wait for permission. You do not need to earn it. You simply assume it. You take it as yours. The law is impartial. It does not care whether your assumption is true or false, good or bad. It simply brings to pass what you persistently accept as real. So let today be the day you stop chasing. Let this moment be the turning point. Enter the state of the wish fulfilled now, not tomorrow, not when circumstances change, but now, for now is the only moment that matters. Now is the door to eternity. Now is the time of manifestation. The secret has always been the same. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Feel it real. Live from the end, and the world will conform, not because you forced it, but because you created it within. Let no one, not even your own reasoning mind, talk you out of your assumption. The rational part of you may say, but look at the facts. The bank account is still empty. The person is still gone. The opportunity hasn't arrived. And yet what is seen was made by the unseen. Everything begins as a state of consciousness. So if you persist in the unseen reality of your desire, if you remain loyal to that which cannot yet be touched or proven, you will watch the outer world reshape itself to reflect the inner conviction. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is not a fleeting emotion. It is not a temporary escape from present conditions. It is a new dwelling place. It is a home you return to again and again, until the world around you cannot help but mirror it. When the senses scream otherwise, when appearances contradict your vision, that is the moment of testing. That is when your faith is forged. And faith is not blind. Faith is imagination tethered to conviction. You are not pretending. You are creating. You are stepping into a state that already exists in the vast eternal now. Every possible state exists. You are not fabricating it. You are selecting it. You are moving your awareness into that place where your desire is fulfilled. And by dwelling in it consistently you make it manifest. What you accept as true will outpicture itself in due time. This is the divine drama, played out within the soul of man. You are both the author and the actor. You write the script with your assumptions, and then you live it out in the theater of the world. And the beautiful thing is this: the moment you assume a new state, all things necessary for its fulfillment begin to move. People, circumstances, ideas. Everything aligns itself with your assumption. But you must not concern yourself with the movement. You only maintain the end. You remain faithful to the vision. If the desire is for love, do not look for the person. Do not seek or yearn. Instead, feel the joy of already being loved. Feel the warmth of companionship. Walk through the world as one who is cherished, admired, adored, and you will find that love in the perfect form arrives, often in the most unexpected ways. If the desire is for wealth, do not chase after money. Instead, live in the consciousness of abundance. Pay your bills in imagination with joy and gratitude. Feel yourself free, prosperous, unburdened. The outer must respond, for the law is always working. You must become emotionally involved with your ideal. That is the key. Emotion is the bridge between the seen and the unseen. Cold imagination produces no results, but when you add the warmth of feeling, the intensity of conviction, the power of belief, then the scene becomes alive. It begins to move. It begins to draw unto itself all that is required. You are the magnetic force. You are the light that calls things out of the darkness. Nothing comes to you from outside. It comes through you, from the state you dwell in, from the self you believe yourself to be. Live as if. It sounds so simple, and it is, but it requires discipline. It requires awareness. It demands that you rise above your senses, that you claim dominion over the facts, that you see not with the eyes of flesh, but with the eye of faith. Every morning, when you wake, before the world rushes in, assume the feeling. Start the day in the end. Hear the sounds of success. Feel the embrace of fulfillment. Breathe in the atmosphere of your dream come true, and carry that mood with you throughout the day. Let it inform your actions, your thoughts, your speech. When doubt arises, as it often will, do not condemn yourself. Simply return. Gently, lovingly, bring yourself back to the state. Remind yourself that imagination creates reality. Remind yourself that feeling is the secret, and re-enter the scene. Do not strive to make it happen. Let it happen through your inner acceptance. Let the vision gestate. Let it grow in the womb of your mind. And one day when you least expect it, you will find yourself living in the very thing you once imagined. This is how all things are created. Nothing ever happens by chance. Coincidence is but the visible side of the invisible law. The world calls it luck, fate, fortune. But the awakened one knows better. He knows that the cause lies within. He knows that every condition is the result of an assumption long held. And therefore, he takes control. He becomes deliberate. He chooses his state consciously, and he returns to it again and again until it is his natural dwelling place. To live as if is not to fake it. It is to faithfully occupy a state of consciousness. It is to make that state more real than your current experience. It is to look beyond appearances, beyond time, beyond logic, and to see with the inner eye, to see and feel and accept what is not yet visible, but is nevertheless true. That is the art. That is the secret. And once it is mastered, the world becomes clay in your hands. You are not here to suffer. You are not here to struggle. You are here to express the fullness of your divine nature. You are here to create, to expand, to give shape to the invisible. Your desires are divine instructions. They are the voice of God whispering to you of what is possible. And when you honor them, when you feel them real, you are worshiping in the highest sense. You are saying yes to life. You are saying yes to the power within. Many will tell you to be realistic. They will tell you to accept things as they are. But I say to you, accept things as you want them to be. Live not from circumstances, but from vision. Do not conform to the world. Transform it. And you do so by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That is how the old self dies, and the new self is born. That is how you move from lack to plenty, from loneliness to love, from sickness to health. The change will be effortless, for it is not you doing the work. The power that created all things will move through you, once you yield to it. Once you surrender to the feeling, once you let go of control, and allow yourself to be carried by the current of your assumption, the outer will transform. Miracles will become normal. Synchronicities will abound. And people will ask, how did this happen? And you will smile, for you will know it happened when you lived in the end, when you made the unseen more real than the seen. To live as if your wish is fulfilled is to live in the Sabbath. It is to rest, knowing that it is done. It is to be at peace, to move with grace, to no longer fight or strive. It is to say, I and my desire are one. And from that union, all things are birthed. This is the marriage of the Lamb. This is the divine romance. When you fall in love with the feeling of your dream come true, when you become one with it in consciousness, then it must appear in form. It cannot be otherwise. The law is perfect. Even when nothing seems to be happening, something is happening. The seed is germinating. The path is forming. The people you need are being drawn to you. The way is being made straight. You may not see it yet, but feel it. Know it. Trust it, and continue to live from the end. Continue to act as one who already is. Do not explain yourself. Do not defend your vision. Simply be. Let your assumption be your shield, your sword, your sanctuary. Let the inner conviction be your only truth. The most powerful thing you can do is nothing. If that nothing is the resting in the state of the wish fulfilled, the outer world will try to tempt you back into effort, back into fear, back into waiting. But remain still. Remain certain. Remain faithful to the unseen. For the unseen is the womb of creation, and all things emerge from it. Every man who has ever achieved anything, whether he knew it or not, lived in the end. He saw what no one else saw. He believed when there was no evidence. And by doing so, he changed the world. You can do the same. You are doing it now. With every assumption, every emotion, every inner dialogue, you are shaping reality. So why not choose the best? Why not dwell in the state of your highest vision? Why not claim your inheritance now, and live as the one who already has? This is not fantasy. This is truth. And when you make this your way of being, when you make the feeling of the wish fulfilled your home, your entire life will become a testimony to the power of imagination. Do not wait for the world to change before you change your inner conversations. It is your inner conversations that create the world. If you persist in talking to yourself as one who has already received, if you repeat inwardly the words you would say, if your desire were now fact, then that assumption becomes a command to the subconscious. And the subconscious, which never questions, always yields. It rearranges the circumstances, compels people to play their part, and constructs a bridge of incidents that leads you to the fulfillment of your dream. So be careful what you entertain within. Watch your self-talk. Most people unknowingly sabotage their own desires by continually affirming what they do not want. They speak of delay, of difficulty, of doubt, and then wonder why their lives do not change. But the one who understands the law knows better. He speaks as one who is already victorious. He praises before he sees. He blesses what has not yet appeared. And in doing so, he calls it forth. The world is a mirror, reflecting your state of consciousness. If you do not like the reflection, you do not smash the mirror. You change the image within. You change your concept of self. You assume a new identity. And that identity brings with it a new reality. You cannot consistently think and feel as a poor man and live as a rich one. You cannot feel unworthy and receive love. Your state must match your desire. That is why you must live as if. You must become it in consciousness. And the world will confirm your new identity. This is not about arrogance. It is about alignment. It is not about pretending to be better than others. It is about recognizing that all things are possible to the one who believes. And belief is not passive. It is an active participation in the unseen. It is a decision to dwell in a reality others may not yet see. You are not asking life to bless you. You are blessing life with your assumption. You are the one with the power. And when you own that power, humbly and fully, the world yields to your inner authority. Feel the joy now. Feel the satisfaction, the peace, the relief. These are the signs that you are living in the end. When you feel it real, when the desire no longer feels like a longing but like a fact, then you are dwelling in the right state. Do not look for signs. Do not search for validation. The sign will follow. The world must reflect the inner change, but you do not wait for it. You live in it now. You speak from it. You feel from it. You rest in it. This is the discipline of a master. To remain unmoved by appearances. To dwell in the unseen with such certainty that the seen must conform. And yet it is not a harsh discipline. It is a joyous one. It is the art of inner alchemy. You are transmuting thought into form, desire into experience, feeling into fact, and all of it takes place within you. The kingdom of heaven is within. The creative power of God is within. Imagination, feeling, assumption, all of these are the tools of the divine within man. If you find yourself slipping into old states, forgive yourself quickly. Do not dwell in guilt or regret. Simply return. Reclaim the feeling. Reassume the end. You are not starting over. You are resuming your rightful place. Every moment is a chance to begin again. Every breath is a portal to a new state. So do not condemn yourself for forgetting. Simply remember and feel anew. There is no one to change but self. No condition to fix. No person to convince. Everything changes when you change your concept of yourself. And your concept is not a statement you repeat. It is the feeling you live in. It is the atmosphere you carry. That is why you can smile before the evidence appears. That is why you can celebrate in the silence. Because you know the truth. It is already done. It is already yours. And your world is simply catching up. Imagination is not a mere fantasy. It is the creative force of the universe. When you imagine something with feeling, you are giving it life. You are impressing it upon the formless substance of reality. And that impression must take form. It must externalize. But it does so in its own perfect way, and in its own perfect time. So you must trust the process. You must remain faithful, not to the method, but to the outcome. Ask yourself, what would it feel like if it were true? Not how will it happen, or when will it come? Those questions bring you back to doubt. They bring you back to the old state. But the question, what would it feel like? That is the golden key. That question opens the door to a new reality. And once you feel it, once you taste the joy of fulfillment within, you are on the path. You have begun the movement. The seed has been planted. And all you need to do now is water it. With attention, with belief, with love. Let the feeling grow. Let it become familiar. Let it become your new normal. And one day, effortlessly, the outer world will reveal what you have long seen in the inner world. And you will not be surprised. You will simply smile and say, of course, it was always mine. In conclusion, living as if your wish is fulfilled is not merely a technique or a fleeting practice. It is the essence of understanding who you truly are and the power that lies within you. You are not a passive observer of your life. You are the creator, the architect, the one who shapes your destiny with every thought, every feeling, every assumption. The secret to manifesting your desires lies in this: you must live as though it has already happened. Feel it, see it, own it. When you do, the world has no choice but to align itself with your inner vision. The law is simple yet profoundly powerful. As within, so without. Your outer world can only reflect what you have already created within. The moment you embrace this truth with unwavering faith, you step into a realm of limitless possibility. You are not bound by circumstances. You are not limited by time, space, or reason. You are the living expression of divine creativity, and your desires are the whispers of your higher self, guiding you to what is already yours. So take this truth to heart. Live as if, Live as the person you are becoming, not the one you've been. Walk, talk, think, and feel as if your dream has already manifested. And in doing so, you will see that the world must bend to your will. It must give way to the power of your assumption, the strength of your belief, and the purity of your conviction. The universe is not outside of you, it is within you. And when you harness this truth, when you understand that your imagination is not just a tool for escape, but the very fabric of creation itself, then there is no limit to what you can accomplish. You are the dreamer, the creator, the wish fulfilled. And by living from that state, you will watch as the world around you transforms in ways more miraculous than you ever imagined. Remember, it's not about waiting for things to change. It's about changing within, and watching as the outer world reflects the beauty, the abundance, and the love you already possess. Live as if your wish is fulfilled, and the world will conspire to make it so.